In this video, we're going to monitor our processes, see all the times a process was executed, which ones went well, how much they cost, what they did on the inside. That place in Qamaq is called monitoring, the control tower of your processes. To orient ourselves, think about the difference with what we already know. When you execute a process, you launch it and see the result in your personal space, in My Runs. What's mine, my run, my result? Monitoring is one floor above that. The view of whoever watches the entire process, all of its runs, not just yours. From the dashboard, in the menu on the left, we open Workspace. We go to the Monitoring submenu. We click on Monitoring, and the Process Instances page begins to load. One detail so you don't get confused. The menu says Monitoring, but the screen is titled Process Instances. That's because each recorded run is a process instance, and that's what we're going to monitor. The first thing we see is a list of instances. Each row is a run of a process, and below it, the name tells you which process it came from. In our case, everything comes from Customer Feedback Processor, the process we've been building since the first video. And without opening anything, at a single glance, we already know what matters about each run: its status, how many times it was executed, how long it took, how many tokens it consumed, and when it was last updated. With that, you can instantly identify which one finished well, which one turned out expensive in tokens, and which one didn't even start. Watch out for the runs column so you don't get confused. Each row is an instance, and an instance you can rerun as many times as you want. Each execution is stored internally, and runs counts those attempts. That's why a single run can have 8 executions behind it. At the top, we have the Show Filters button. If we click it, the panel appears for filtering the runs by name or by status. For example, only the ones that failed, so you don't lose track when you have a lot of them. And up on the right, there's a separate toggle, Test Mode, which separates the test runs from the real ones, useful while you're rehearsing a process and don't want to clutter the real history. Let's go into a run that finished to see what it saved on the inside. We click on the eye icon. At the top, we have the summary of the instance, along with when it was created and updated. These are the metrics that really matter for monitoring a process in production: the total tokens it consumed, how much it cost in dollars, how long it took in total, and how many times it was executed. On this screen, you know what this process is costing the organization. From here, we can also view the diagram of the process as it happened using the View Diagram button. When we relaunch it or run it again with Run Again, and if a run happens to fail, the reason is recorded right here, so we can diagnose what happened without guessing. And here comes the powerful part: what really makes this a control tower. In the execution history, every time we run, the instance is saved as an attempt, and here we have them all, with their date, their tokens, their cost, and their status. We can view it in 2 ways. With the summarized view, which is the default, it shows us each attempt with its activities in a table, step by step, whether it finished well, how many tokens, and how much it cost, which agent and which model executed it, and how long it took. We take a glance and see where the time and the cost of the process went. In the Action section, if we press the arrow icon, we see the response that was produced. And if the control steps feel like too much, here with Hide Control Activities, we hide them, and we're left with just the core work. If we want the full breakdown, we switch to the Detailed view. At the top, in Input Values, we can see what data this run was launched with. And below, each step opens up its own card, with the entire response it generated, so we can view it in different formats. It gives us a more readable view all the way down to the rawest data. This is the complete picture: what came in, what each step did internally, and what it arrived at. And down below, in Execution Output, we have the final snapshot of the process, all the data fields it filled in throughout the run, the analysis summary, and the action plan. Everything the process built, all in one place. On each step, we have the option to rerun. If an activity went wrong, or we adjusted something and we want to try again, the process runs again from that point, without repeating everything that came before. When we're fine-tuning a process, this saves us time and tokens. We fix the step that failed, not the 10 that were already fine. For example, we click this Rerun button on Analyze Feedback. We refresh, and we can see that the previous tasks now appear as rolled back, and the new ones generated with the Rerun button show up in their place. And with this, we have the complete picture. Remember the difference. My runs is the result, what you launched. Monitoring is the control of the entire operation, all the runs of your process. This is where you keep watch over your processes in production. Which run, whether it went well, how much it cost, and why. With the step-by-step detail to repair and relaunch when needed. That is the control tower of Qamaq.